chase because time is very much of the essence. There's this conversation that has been trending, and there is absolute need for us to revisit that conversation and let us see, what you think about it. And let me also see what's here, what the ladies in the studio think about it. Meanwhile, I've got Ella here. Ella, how you doing?
I'm doing very okay. How about you?
Why you sounding nice?
Am I sounding too nice?
Eh?
Sounding professional.
I'll soon call that gift man for you now.
I'm doing very okay, except for the fact that I'm quite broke and
you
would
look,
appreciate.
you look decent today.
Yeah.
Okay, let me check. Let me check this. Oh, okay, you look
Yeah.
decent today.
So
Usually you wear skimpy,
yeah, skimpy clothes.
skimpy shorts, and you have your,
Private parts outside.
all your natural and
So you know it's
endowments
private.
on display.
Well, I'm
Oh
good,
my God.
except for the fact that I would appreciate if you girls can come together and do small ajo for me. What I need is not too much to ask. I
For
just
somebody
need.
that earns above,
Miss Favor,
yeah,
relax
for somebody that earns
now.
above 800,000, you're
Ah.
better than us.
That's a real thing.
Chai.
Mara is also here. Mara, what's going on?
I'm good. I'm great.
Mara just the flex for you. But if you touch her, she'll be like, you know, man.
I love flexing.
You are flexing. They show for your body. Like, there's no, you don't get anything where you won't tell me.
I'm just alive.
They show for your body.
I'm just taking every day as it comes.
Do you realize that you look healthier now than when you came to urban? We're taking care of you. You look healthier now. Do you agree?
I do agree because
have
I
a-
always look healthier.
You have is a lie. You have a clearer skin. You're chubbier. Do you understand? You're happier.
I'm not happy now. I'm not happy at anything. Happy I care.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, by my own estimation,
Yeah.
that's what I think. But I know you're enjoying the environment.
Not bad.
All right, not bad.
Yeah.
I don't know what you mean by that, but I know if we begin to explore that statement, there are so many other things that will come out of it. Then we've got Jennifer here as well. Jennifer, how are you doing?
I'm okay. I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking.
I'm happy. All right, well, what's up, you ladies in the studio? My name is Favor, and yes, I've got CK. Shout out to CK, man, the man behind the camera.
Peace.
CK for the first time is streaming us today. We're streaming live on YouTube.
Yeah, go
Okay,
watch
so
us
you can
there.
go watch us on YouTube.
Watch my expressions.
Yeah, CK,
Yeah.
what's our
Urban Radio 945.
Urban Radio,
Yeah.
Urban Radio 945 on YouTube, so you can actually go to YouTube and stream and see what is going on in the studio. Okay, so now before we begin with this conversation, I'd like us to take a listen to this. It's been a subject of conversation for quite some hours now because I think the video went viral today.
Yeah.
But I would like for us to listen to what this woman had to say, and then we'll come back and kickstart the conversation.
Marriage will never have children, and that was just the beginning. When the blame game started, I kept quiet because I wanted to protect what was hurting me. Can you even imagine? At 28, I found out my marriage will never have children, and that was just the beginning. When the blame game started, I kept quiet because I wanted to protect what was hurting me. Can you even imagine? When my mother stopped me and asked me, why you never still born? Our family, our children, I go take bless us, we don't get money, but my children now we get. Why you never still born? I held back my tears and I told her, I said, Mama, now God they give children, and now God now will give us children. I could not tell her because I did not want her to come and destroy what I thought was a good thing for me. Because I knew my mother, she would take action almost immediately, and I didn't want her to spoil anything. So I held on to that secret until she died. I didn't tell her. And even though the multiple medical reports were clear, I carried the blame. I carried the shame. People called me barren. People called me different names. People poked at my stomach. And one who made assumptions and pointed at me in some cases, I kept quiet. Because that's what I was supposed to do as a good woman. As a good wife, you don't take your laundry outside. You keep quiet and you endure. So when his mother came to our room at 5 a.m. in the morning to confirm that I was sleeping next to her son, I could not shout.
Oh.
screamed at the woman that I actually really loved and chose over my own mother. And everybody said I was a bad daughter-in-law for talking back at her, for being mean to me, even though she knew the results. When I told him, I didn't see any outrage. I didn't hear him defend me. And so for the 19th time in that marriage, I felt what it meant to be unprotected. And even though I was questioning my choices at that point, I stayed for another 7 years, not because I didn't know the fact, but because sometimes when you mix love, loyalty, hope, culture together, it makes you confused about living or enduring. Today, I'm almost 46 and I do not ache for children. And I'm not angry. But sometimes what I mourn is not even motherhood, is the ability to decide for myself whether I wanted children or I did not want children. That choice was stolen from me. At 28,
Ooh, interesting. Well, this is a viral video and it's been trending the entire day. So according to her, she realized at 28 that she could not have children, and it's not by her own making. Her husband had issues. The husband was important, right? And but prior to then, they have been under severe pressure from the husband's family to give birth. So now after a series of tests, it points to the husband's direction that he is the problem. But of course, even even after the family knew that she was medically okay and that she is fit to have children, they still thought that the whole problem was from her. So you listen. I don't need to go over all of that again. But what she is trying to say in essence is, even with all of that, she stayed for 7 years in that marriage before it eventually ended, and she kept it a secret. Like, she did not speak to people about what her husband's medical status is. She took the blame. She was blamed for that marriage not producing children. She was called barren and all that. So at the end of the day, she had to walk away from the marriage. Currently, she's 46. She does not have children, and she says she's not even angry. But what pains her, or what she thinks about at some time, at some point in her life, is the fact that she did not get to decide whether she wanted children or not. That particular choice was taken away from her. So we would like to really expand this conversation. um I remember, I think it was on one of my one of these my Saturday programs, and I said, if if two people who are married, I mean, is it enough if two people are married and one, right,
Yeah.
is in need of children? One really wants children. The other person, maybe you want children, but you're unable to produce. You have medical issues and all of that. What should be like? How should that dynamic play out? I don't know if you understand what I mean. Should the other person sacrifice their their choice or their desire to have children, all because they are married to you?
Who's
Or
not sure?
exactly, or is the reasonable thing for you to do in that case? Will the reasonable thing be to just walk away and respectfully tell that I'm not going to hold you back from achieving what you want to achieve and all of that? I'm unable to do that. I'm not in a position to give you what you want. I'm not offended. I can have you move on and get somebody who can help you produce. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Other than making it look like, okay, we are stuck in this situation forever. And in most cases, when one person is unable, right, to
Have children.
have children, you realize that this is not a conversation they get to have with the other person, right? You get to hide it from your significant other. They get to find out maybe much later, right? So, and even when they find out, the burden of staying with you or leaving, that's not something that is quite easy. I don't know if it's so. Love, is it enough in this case? Is love really, really enough? Can a couple be married without children, especially when one person is in dire need of kids? Is it possible for that marriage to actually work out? Or is it only going to work when the other person or both of them kill their desire to have children? They don't mind having children. They don't mind. They just want to. They are very much satisfied with each other's company. So these are some of the angles and many more angles that we would like to approach this conversation from. So, ladies, I'd like to hear what you think. Who's going first? Jennifer.
Okay. So from what she said, I think it can work when the both of them are on the same page.
Okay.
When the both of them they agree that they don't want kids. When one person when one person wants to have children and the other person doesn't want it, I don't think it can work. I don't think. Maybe at the moment it might look like it might work, right? The person is like, okay, I agree, no problem. But I think I have read stories of how the person was understanding enough at the first instance. Okay, a few years into the marriage, the person was understanding, and after some time, the person began to be like, okay, I don't think I really understood this thing when I made the decision to do this thing with you. So I think it's best when they both know what they are going into. They are both on the same page. One person doesn't want to have children, and the other person also agrees that I don't want to have children too. So the both of you have to be on the same page, agree on the same thing, want the same thing. That's what I mean.
Similar
Agree on the
choice.
same thing. Yeah, to avoid, because I think at first it might be very easy to make the decision. I think so. Maybe you check it. It might not be very easy, but you might look at it and feel like you can do this. But along the line, I'm saying this based on what I have read. I've seen people do this thing. There is this you start developing this desire. Should I say it comes alive again? You just want to have your child, even if it's just one, and you maybe start trying to you might not really be able to communicate it properly to your partner, especially when you know the condition. So I think the both of you just have to agree on the same thing, especially when it comes to issues about, children. It's not even like we're talking of something else. Like, it's something that I feel like if you people are not on the same page, if you guys don't agree on the same thing, on wanting and desiring the same thing, I don't think
It's something that will always crop up in your marriage.
Exactly, it will always crop up sooner or later.
Later.
That's the thing. There's no time frame, but I feel it will still crop up at some point. That's my
Your
opinion
take
on
on
that.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
on
So
that
I
particular
think
thing.
that love is not enough when desires and choices are altered.
Mm.
Love can only work when our choices aligns and our desires aligns as well. Well, I think that woman has been so betrayed in her life that she would find it really difficult to trust anybody in her entire lifetime. She's 46 right now. She still have a long way to go. So I wonder how she's going to live her life trying to trust somebody, because if the man I call my husband, the man who's supposed to complete me, and so both of us can be one and not two, cannot open his mouth and tell me that whatever is going on with him cannot work, then I wonder how that woman can actually love. So back to what I said, love love is not enough. It would be altered when decisions and desires are not respected. So I think that it would have made more sense if this man said, oh look, I love you so much, but I love you well enough to tell you that I have a problem, and I think this problem is something we can solve. This thing can be solved in different ways. Some in getting a sperm donor.
Yeah.
That's if the man is willing to love another person's child.
Mm.
But you see, one thing about men is they like to throw stones when they don't like the stones to be thrown
This
at them.
angle you're going now. Okay.
They like to throw stones, because if it were to be the woman that knows that, oh, she probably, she did an abortion sometime in her lifetime and her womb is damaged, and then she didn't go ahead to tell the man that, oh, see what I've done. And if that was the case, the man should have chased her out of the house.
And be
They
like,
wouldn't
they make
let-
you feel like she's a burden.
He
like
wouldn't
you're
even
carrying
let her
yourself
live
to-
for another 7 years, and they live here, they do it. So even when the lady decided to stay, I watched the video when she said because of culture choices and all of those things, she decided to stay because she doesn't want anybody to stigma a single mother, or maybe not a single mother, someone who left her marriage, a divorcee, as the case may be. She decided to stay for you. And even when your mother was coming at her, knowing that you are impotent, you still couldn't stand up for her.
Yeah.
It just shows that you are not a good person. And I know I always say these things on this show that the only reason why people are having issues in probably marriage and relationship is because we are not we have decided not to be good people, and we do not want to be open enough to our partners. That's the major reason why we're having issues. You know, that's why we have the cheat issues. That's why we have there's so many issues going on in relationship right now. So no, I disagree. If you know you cannot have children, you know that whatever is happening with you, whatever you have between your legs are not working. Please, before you love somebody's daughter, before we even get to the stage of I love you, I don't love you, tell me, I like you, oh, but my legs are not working. If to make more sense, I would not if I want to stay with you because there are career women who really don't want children. I've seen a lot of women, you know, I don't know if they are real, but me, I
Really,
want
there are
children.
so many other options you can even explore.
Explore.
Mhm.
Yeah, just say it. Make it known. Don't make me love you, trust you, marry you, choose to adore you, choose to make you my husband, and then along the line, your family are calling me names for not having children when you are the actual person who is not able to put children inside my body. So that's what I think. That's my say.
Okay. Elasticity.
Well, I think they've just said it all
Mm.
with Myra and Jennifer. They've said everything I would have loved to touch on. To also touch on what Myra said. If to also touch on what Myra said,
Mhm.
if you know your private parts they are not working properly, what you should do from the onset, you just say, okay, I have this issue, I have this issue. I don't know what you think about it. If it's something that you can stick with for the rest of your life, then I am game. If it's something you cannot stick with, just keep it moving and don't at the end of the day start making blame games when we get into the marriage. So that's just it.
There are people that because love has a way of beclouding your sense of judgment sometimes.
Yes.
Somebody might tell you you might be, and they might wait to speak to you about it when the relationship has gotten to an extent. I don't know if you understand what I mean. They wouldn't
Yeah.
want to engage you
I feel like we
on
should
that
start from the
conversation
beginning.
quite early. No, I don't know.
Yeah, I really
Lots
don't
of people
think
wouldn't want to
the
engage because I
beginning-
mean, imagine meeting somebody and you just tell the person, "Oh, look at
I
the
have
issue I
fertility
have."
issues.
You would, you're not gonna keep a relationship, right? But some people would like to get to know that person a bit better, allow themselves, grow on that person, and they just get to basically like each other. And in the course of that, now tell the person, "Oh, look at, I'm having this issue, I'm having this issue." Sometimes, if that person is really head over heels in love with you, they wouldn't mind. They sometimes they could say, "Okay, there are men that are crazy enough like that to say, oh, I'd still like to continue, right?" Okay, now, but usually there are still people that would say, "Oh, I can't proceed with this." But where I'm trying to get to with this entire thing is sometimes you're in the marriage, sometimes you have gotten married. Few years down the line, or maybe both of you have medically gone for tests. It could be that you've gone for tests. It could be that everything was okay with you from the beginning. But few years down the line, you've gotten married and you're having difficulty. There are people that have gone to hospitals and they were checked and they're fine, but they get married and they still have difficulty, giving birth and all that. Do you understand what I mean? Yes. So in the course of the marriage, maybe after an expanded investigation into what the cause would be, the doctors could find out that one person actually has issues that you are completely unaware of, right? Now, it's not it's not your fault that this is what is happening to you. It's not your fault that, oh, you found yourself in a situation like this. But if even if after you've gone years deep into the marriage and you realize that, okay, because of this issue that I'm having, I will be unable to produce a child, and your spouse is in dire need of a child, right, or kids, or somebody that desires to have children, is it proper for you to expect him? Is it rational for you to expect your spouse to stick by you? Or is it rational? Is it more rational for you to allow him that freedom to decide whether he wants to stay or whether he wants to leave?
Well, I think the last option is to allow my partner, the decision whether they want to stay with me or not, because that's actually
Well, you know, a
very.
lot of women don't. They don't. They don't
That's a
think in
lot of
that
women, but
direction.
for me, that's what I would do because I do not care. Our choices should be respected. We are in love. We are not crazy people. We are okay. We are okay. Our minds are working perfectly here. So if I find out that there's anything wrong with me and I get to tell you, I would allow. I would allow you to think for yourself. I would allow you to make the decision if you want to really stay with me or not. And if you choose to stay with me, I will adore and respect you my entire life. But if you choose not to stay, I will still respect you. Or rather, I would respect your choice more because you're human. Everybody on this earth planet has got a choice. That I'm here in urban radio was a calculated effort. Oh, I want to be here and I'm here. So if anybody comes at any point when I was planning to get here and you decide to want to thwart whatever my plan was, I would have issues with you and I would dump you and get going. Do you understand? So I think in relationship or in marriage, is the same rule still applies. If because that's actually very serious. That's a very very serious. It's different when you say, "Oh, at 30, oh, I will stop having money." If we marry at 25, at 30, I'll stop having money. I can understand. What I would do is I will try to double whatever you already have and see what I can do so that at 30, when you don't have money, I will still support. Not when you can't have children and my parents gave birth to me, you don't want me to give birth to grandchildren for my children and for my parents. It would not work. It would not work. So I think it's something that I need to let you make your decision. After you make your decision, if you need to walk away, no problem. I mean, you're walking away peacefully and I'm not holding you against your wish. And so the love you have for me would not turn to resentment along the line.
Yeah, I think it's like Mara said. I think it's important that you let your partner make a decision. You know that they think is what they can put up with and what they can
You know,
actually.
this is
live
what
with.
is ideal, but that's not what is obtainable.
Yeah,
Because
true.
you're in love.
Actually, you would expect that the person would actually stick with you or should stick with you. I'm not even going to lie. I think I would also expect that you should stick with me in this time.
Because
Maybe.
it's not easy for you to tell a man that you're married to or a woman that you're married to, oh, because of this.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been with this person, you have feelings for this person.
Yeah, you've envisioned
especially
forever
if,
with the
yeah,
person.
especially if this is somebody that you really, really like and invested in. It's not always very easy for you to just have that conversation. It's not.
Yeah.
You try as much as you can to make efforts
For the person
to see if there's anything that you can do. All right. So, but in some cases it doesn't work. Even though I believe now there are so many options that could be explored. The only problem that we have is that a lot of men are too African to explore
Thank
some
you.
medical options
True.
that are available,
Mm.
right?
Yes.
Because I mean, if your wife has issues or if you have issues, if you're unable to produce, you can go to a sperm bank and get a sperm
Yeah.
to fertilize your. But some men don't even
Want to hear it.
exactly.
Yeah, I think that's where we talk about the should I say the shame culture when it comes to people that are not able to have kids of their own. There is just that culture and it's very very strong. Now I think that women are victims of that a lot more than the men because how many of this sometimes you won't really even know because the women do a good job with hiding it or trying to I don't know how to put it should I say cover it so it doesn't get out and all of that and even while they're covering it like we saw in this
Case.
woman in this case yes the blame would go to her for trying to still be a good woman or do what she thinks is best for her marriage so I